Hi everyone, today's video is going to be a video I used to film on my channel a lot, but I kind of got out of the habit of it and I want to get back in, and that's where I see something in on like one of the beauty I watch a lot of those like will I buy it kind of videos and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to buy that, let me tell you. But then I'm like, well, let me look through my collection and see what I have. Because I still, even though if you've been like following me along, I've been decluttering so much. I've been using up makeup. I've been really improving my makeup habits, my consumption of beauty media. I've been doing a lot better. But I still want things. And so this isn't necessarily to say I'm not gonna buy anything. I don't think I will anytime soon. But just to be like, let's go through my collection and see what I have. I really love when people that have a lot of single shadows do these kind of videos and they like try to dupe it, or like Hannah Louise Poston talks about like duping the vibes. I love those videos. I don't have single shadows, they're not very many, so I'm just gonna go through my palettes. Personally, I don't mind using multiple palettes for my look. So today's look is inspired, I haven't told you what it is. It's the Flight Club palette. Let me show you. By Menagerie Cosmetics. I just think that's so pretty. And now there are two duochrome shades in here, and I don't really have very much duochrome. I do have one on my lid. So this look inspired what I have on, so I tried to kind of like fake it, and I used 3 eyeshadow palettes today. I don't mind pulling in from multiple eyeshadow palettes. And again, it's kind of, I don't want to not film something or not do something because I don't feel like I have the exact perfect thing. And you might not have everything that I'm mentioning today, and that's totally fine. Go through your own collection, see what you have. And you don't have to do it with this palette. Do it with whatever. So I'm not pulling out every purple eyeshadow I own, though I pulled out a lot. Pretty much what I'm going for is these pinks I really like, and then this like pinky purpley vibe, like very warm tone purples is what I'm seeing, like what I am immediately struck with on this palette. So I want to go through and see what I have in my collection. I've pulled things out already. I do have 3 single eyeshadows to talk about, so we'll start there. And I've told you all a lot, I really want to start getting more into indie makeup, not buying all these mainstream things. And Menagerie is a brand I'm interested in trying. So I just want it. But I think I'm okay. So this is the MAC Single Shadow in the shade Shine. This is a really cool tone purple, but do you see how it's got like a pink shift? It's very glittery. I like to use this over a glitter glue for sure. But you see how, I think so. It's like a very very almost translucent purple base with some pink glitter. I think that is very a la the vibes of the Menagerie Cosmetics palette. I'm not necessarily trying to like shade for shade dupe it. I'm just trying to be like, what do I have in my collection that I can create something similar? And so then the goal is to no longer want those palettes because I've got something that's pretty much the same. This is a very old Tarantino eyeshadow. She doesn't make them anymore, but I have them, and I assume that some other people have them, and y'all might not, again, have this exact thing, but something similar. This is in the shade Beau, and you see, oh, I'm sorry, this is Ribbon. You see how, like, it's honestly not the best shadow. This might be being decluttered in my collection relatively soon, but it's a very warm tone purple. And that's so pretty. So pretty. I love it. I will tell you one thing. I don't know if you are on the same boat as me, so maybe this is irrelevant information. But when I do makeup declutters, or I decide to get rid of things, these kind of videos are one of the things that make me not want to get rid of anything. They're one of the videos that makes me be like, well, what if I'm trying to dupe something and I find something that's the exact, and I don't have the exact same shadow? Or what if I'm trying, I don't know, to make a video, you can rationalize keeping anything. But here's the dealio. If I'm trying to like dupe the vibes, or like tell myself I don't need something because of what I already have, and what I already have is crap and I don't like it, that's not very successful, is it? So I don't know, that's helping me to get rid of things I don't love. don't know if y'all can hear that. We got 12 inches of snow last night. We're having a snow day in Ohio. Right now we're at level 3, which means if you leave your house, if you drive, let me be clear. If you're driving, you can be arrested unless you're an emergency vehicle. So we're not leaving the house right now. I might go into work later if the roads clear up, but right now they're just ice patches and I don't want to drive in that. So my next single shadow is this Colourpop single shadow, or Super Shock shadow in the shade Dare. This is like almost a blue purple duochrome, but like a deep one. Let me see if I can. This shadow is called Megabat. Like I said, I'm not necessarily trying to do exact dupes, but this is one of the shadows that like I saw and I was like, hello. And this is not quite as warm tone as that, but it's, you know, it's similar. And see, it's swatching much warmer. Oh wow, that's a tear. It's an absolutely horrible swatch. Here we are. Let's just build it up a little more. Yeah, see, I feel like that's gonna give you a similar look. Maybe not the exact same. Okay, those are my 3 singles. Now we're gonna start getting into palettes. Some of these palettes I've got like a few shadows in it. Some of it's just one shadow. Some of it's a little bit far reaching, but I'm just doing the best I can with what I have. All right. First we have the Venus 3 palette. If you don't know, this is the palette I wore on my wedding day. It's a fabulous palette. I love it. And like these pinks are so similar to those matte pinks. So we've got Deathly and Bliss. And I used Bliss on my wedding day. This one, yeah. No, I used, oh, not Deathly, Dreamy. I used Dreamy on my wedding day. These are beautiful shadows, let me tell you. And then we've got Beam, which is like a pinky purple. And we've got Paradise, which is a very warm tone purple with a little bit of a blue shift. Okay, Dreamy. Or sorry, Beam is not gonna really swatch well, but that's okay. That one's also one, here it is. It's actually really similar to Shine. This is definitely one that you need a glitter glue down. But look at Paradise. Talk about a warm tone purple. It's stunning, love it. Then I've got the good old Urban Decay Electric palette. I'm trying to show you ones that I think you might have. And then we're going to slowly deteriorate to ones that I might be the only person in the world that owns it. But you know, probably not. Somebody else more than likely does. So this is the Urban Decay Electric palette. We've got this hot pink, but that's not really the vibe I'm looking for. I'm looking for these kind of more neutrally matte pinks. But these 2 shades, Jilted and Urban. This one, especially Jilted. Warm tone purple with a little bit of a blue shift, and then just a very true grape purple. These are stunning, and they work really well still. This is an old palette. Most of my palettes are old, if you don't know, because I haven't bought in a while. All right, what else do I, okay, here we go. This is the Juvia's Place Magic palette, and really, I'm just looking at this shade. Now, we do have a dark purple called I'm not sure, I'm gonna say Efi. And if you haven't watched my review of this palette, then you might not know. I think this shadow sucks. It's terrible. So again, like trying to dupe out my palette and being on that palette and being like, oh look, I got a dark purple, but this one stinks. So I'm not even gonna talk about it. Well, I just did. But this shade Zumba, super ultra metallic, blue to purple duochrome. It is much cooler tone than a lot of what we're working with, but if you're in the mood for a blue-purple duochrome, that's a great one. It's great, love it. All right, then we have the Violet Voss hashtag palette. I wanted this palette for so long, and now I have it, and I'm just kind of indifferent about it, to be honest. But I think we've got some shades. TBT and Life are 2 mattes that they're very warm tone purple. Life does not swatch well at all. There we go. So TBT in Life. That TBT shade, that's stunning. And then we do have Relevant and Pretty AF. I'll just go ahead and give you Sunset. So pretty much this whole bottom row. Relevant, Pretty AF, and Sunset. And see, on a finger swatch, they look great. But not really doing what I want. There we go. That's one of the things I find about this palette. They swatch, I mean, you know, some of them swatch really nicely, but a lot of them just don't perform as well as I would like. I've heard really good things about that formula, but I'm not overly impressed. So let's talk about what I used today, I guess. We're getting into more of the things that you might, you know, a little more niche. I mean, they're like mainstream brands, but they're just old is really what it is. So this is the Urban Decay, not Urban Decay, the KVD Vegan Beauty Alchemist palette. And this is great. And this is the shade Ultraviolet. That's what I have as my inner corner and also as my cheek highlight because I was going for like a monochromatic moment today. It's so good. I don't think there's anything quite like this in the Flight Club palette, but I do think this you can put that over almost anything and get that like very purpley look. Also, I just want to say, because it's been driving me crazy, I probably should have said this earlier, but oh well. Flight Club is based on the flying fox, which is a species of fruit bat. That's all accurate. But people, like the marketing, and when people talk about it, they keep talking about how it's like the fruit bat. There are many species of fruit bat. I would just like to let you know. I don't study bats. I mean, they're cool, but I don't study them for my dissertation or anything, but there's lots of bats, fruit bat species. Flying fox isn't the only one. This is the Vice 4 palette. So if you have this, pull this baby out, because look at these. That's kind of cool tone, but these three. So today I actually have this in my like crease. I have this as my transition shade. This is my like outer corner crease shade. And then I have this as this like pinky purpley shade. I really like my makeup today. So we've got Beat Down, 1985, Underhand, and Harlow. Okay, we're going down here now. And like, let's be honest, like 1985, it's had better days, but it still works. And then let's go ahead and swatch Pandemonium, because I think that also, some of these are a little, I mean, again, they're not the exact same, but you can create a similar look, I think. I mean, I don't have the palette, but you know, we're going for it. We're going for the vibes. Okay, I just had to put this palette in. This is the Anastasia Prism palette, and I know you're probably like, no girl, no, but this shade, it is more cool tone. And we'll go ahead and put in Osiris too, even though it's more of like a plum. I know this is really too cool tone for this palette, but I just needed to show you. Oh, so pretty. We've digressed a bit from the palette, but I just like it. And then I think we can also bring in this shade Mediterranean. This is the ABH Prism palette. I'm sorry, Riviera palette. This is probably a little more blue. Maybe it's too cool tone too. It's just really pretty. I really love it. So maybe not so much, okay? All right, let's get back on track. This is the Urban Decay Urban Spectrum palette. And I think this shade Sketch is a really nice satiny warm tone purple. Yeah, that's more what we want. There we go. All right, and then we have the Urban Decay Urban Spectrum palette. And we've got two really nice warm tone, well, we've got a warm tone purple and then another one of those blue purple duochromes. And then this one's got some pink in it, so we'll show. So this is Omen, Flashback, and Voodoo. I think a lot of these shades can be bought as single shadows. Omen is what I have on my inner portion of my lid. Yeah, I think that does what we want, doesn't it? Ish. I mean, it's not perfect. I do also, I pulled out the Moondust palette because it does have this like purpley blue shade, and again, that was one of the shades I was really drawn to. This is the shade Magnetic. That swatch is terrible. I just think you can't really get the glitter because of my lighting, because again, it's snowing a lot out there. There we go. This is the Tarte Magic Star palette. I think nobody has this, but talk about some warm tone purples. So we've got this shade really, and this shade. So Indulgence and Goblet. Indulgence is almost a pinky gold purple. You see how it's, hold on. We're gonna start swatching over here because I feel like these swatches are just like deteriorating quickly. So there's Indulgence, there's Goblet. Indulgence is a really cool shade. I like it a lot. All right, now we're gonna go Makeup Forever Artist Pan 9 pan. This is just like a very true warm tone purple. It is a shimmer satin. It's really a satin. But I thought that might work for some of our things. Yeah, I think so. And you know, like I said, if you have a bunch of singles, I realize that it might be easier to do that, but I don't have a bunch of singles, so I'm giving you what I got. Then we have this Kat Von D Vida Loca palette. And I think this shade Anthem really fits the bill. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's an old palette. A lot of these palettes are old palettes. That's why I'm doing my Project 10 uses to kind of see if they've gone bad or not. But, you know, I really love the look we got today. And then I pulled out these Smashbox Masterclass palettes, but I don't think that's really what we want. So there we go. Those are all of the palette, or the shadows, I guess I should say, that kind of dupe the vibes. Oops, sorry. Kind of give you-ish what we have here. It's not perfect, and there are a couple of cool tone purples, so you know, but I don't feel like I have to have this palette when I have this many shadows that do something similar. And again, I'm not a person that minds reaching into multiple shadows in order to, or sorry, multiple palettes in order to create a single look. It doesn't bother me at all. But I understand some people that does bother. So there you go. Yeah, that's really all I have for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you still found it like fun. And you know, like I said, I've been stopping myself from creating these videos because I don't feel like I have the exact right perfect thing to make them, and I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to make the videos I want to make, even if it's like, okay, well you have to have 7 of these palettes to make it, but maybe you already have them. And again, maybe if you don't, look through your collection and see what you do have that's similar. And maybe, you know, like I said, I'm really inspired by this purple, but maybe you're like this, like peachy shade right here. That's what like gets your heart pitter pattering. Great. See what you have in your collection that's like that. It doesn't have to be the exact things I do. But maybe this gave you some ideas, or maybe you forgot that you also still have this Kat Von D Vida Loca palette and it's time to pull it out again. And maybe it's time to declutter it. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, or comments, go ahead and leave those down below, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.